Hello, Starseeds. This is Starseed Living, and my name is Lorraine. I want to welcome you to our 30-day experiment, and normally we do a meditation each day, but today my guides and teachers are suggesting that I just share some thoughts, where we're at, what's happening, and try to assist you in bridging this transition out of 4D into 5D, to give you some perspective from a galactic perspective as opposed to the limited human perspective from the state of emotionality that so many are in right now. We need to move beyond that. We need to pull ourselves out of the state of emotionality and start to perceive what is happening in our greater experience beyond the limited perceptions. I've been hearing a lot about people tired of waiting, wanting it to happen, as if we just snap our fingers and zap, we're in a crystalline world, in a crystalline body, living in a golden age. And although that could be a possibility, it's not within the realm of our frequency and our energetics as a global being. We are moving, yes, out of the 4D into the 5D. And everything that we do is assisting this process. But it is not going to happen like that. I can't snap very well, but it's not going to happen like that. So maybe we can help you understand this process a little better. So imagine stacked. So here's 3D. Here's 4D meshed within it, but slightly higher. Here's 5D, a little less enmeshed, but certainly still connected. And the veils are thinning. The ability, the frequency elevation of Terra, of planet Earth, of humanity has risen enough that we have access to the dimensional layers. There's bleed through between layers down and up. So we can glimpse, we can sense, we can know that this is here. These upper dimensional existences, which in truth are all here. There's no difference. They're all existing in the same space. Because there is no space. There is no time. They're all existing. It's all frequency. There's no difference other than the frequency range that we are existing within. So we aren't going to wake up one day and this earth is going to transform into this beautiful, glowing, crystalline being, and all the humans are now going to be crystalline light bodies, and everything is going to exist in a different form. That's not going to happen in our lifetime, and probably not even in the next lifetime of the existence. Now, I know that's hard for you to hear, because we've all been hoping. We've all been told, but we haven't been told that's what's going to happen. We're using our three-dimensional thoughts to project us into our perceived reality. And not a single one of the intuitives or psychics or guides or channelers has said that's what it's going to be. Not a single one of them. They are seeing a future, yes, where we are crystalline light bodies, where the golden age of experience exists, and love is the predominant expression. That is an inevitability, but it's not going to happen now. Well, it's actually happening now, but we haven't reached the frequency yet to get there. Now, there are some that have moved into the ascended master state and are existing in this sort of flux between the dimensions. But as a general rule, we as a collective are not going to be in that illusory projection of our mind. Now, that isn't to say that the work that we do to hold that vision is not actually elevating and rising our frequency. But if we hold to that vision but still see with our eyes the illusion of what is in front of us, and are trying to merge the idea, and as a result feel pain and grief and sadness and depression as a result, we aren't raising our frequency. We're lowering it, which means it's less available. So in this reality versus illusion, the reality is we are energetic beings. We are light beings already. We aren't transitioning into light beings. We are adjusting and raising the frequency of the projected matrix form into what we already are. We already are love. We already are crystalline. We already are the frequencies of the divine. We're getting caught in the matrix, in the illusion, and forgetting the truth of who we really are. So yes, the frequencies are raising on the planet. They must. That is now an absolute inevitability. But it will take time. So what we will be seeing over the next 6 months, year, 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, 10 years, and beyond is an awakening on a global scale as more and more people remember the truth that they are love. So all of the ugly that you see out in the world will begin to lessen, will begin to dissipate, will eventually no longer be able to exist. But that is going to take time because the mass has not reached the frequency of shifting quickly. Yes, those of us that do our work, that stay in joy as much as possible, that stay in the frequency of love, peace, harmony, and don't buy into the illusion, those of us will live a more joy-filled, bliss-filled life because we are manifesting our reality. So if you want love, stay in the frequency of love. If you want peace, stay in the frequency of peace. If you want bliss, stay in the frequency of bliss and do whatever you can that brings you those sensations. Stay in nature. Eliminate those that are in opposition to what fills your heart out of your life, or at least distance yourself from them. Stop watching the news. Stop going to social media and taking that as your absolute truth. Use discernment. And if you find that you're getting sucked back in, because it's very easy to do, separate yourself. Do a technology detox for a couple of days, even a day. Go out and sit with Mother Nature. Read a book that brings you joy. Listen to good music. Hang out with a loved pet. Distract yourself. We've all become so addicted to being fed from the external. And remember, the external is an illusion. I know you know what to do. The external will only feed back to you what is in your energy field. So if you don't like what's being fed to you, distract yourself until you can alter your frequency. Do simple, mundane things like dishes and laundry, gardening, chickens. I had to clean up a chicken today. She was really dirty. So, life still needs to happen as we're moving up in frequency. But do life in a different way. Simplify. I started to say remove yourself, but in the current climate, we've all been removed. And I think in a bigger perspective, what this has done is forced us all to, it's given us an opportunity to go within. Go within. Spend time with those you love, away from social media and television. If you have a family, sit and play board games or puzzles. Distract yourself from the matrix. You can do this. We are ascending. We are elevating so rapidly that if you could really see it, you would feel like you're being stretched. It's kind of like, remember the Gumbies? I'm telling my age, obviously. Remember when they just pulled the Gumbies? That's what it feels like. We're being stretched. We're being so altered so quickly. But remember, we are the God force, the manifestors that are creating it all. Us, not some external force. What we are witnessing on a global stage is a play. And all the actors are playing the role to shock us into our truth, to force us to realize that the only place we can go is inward, that nothing is going to rescue us outside. We need to be our own heroes. Our own heroes. Our own saviors. We need to focus more on that which brings us joy, whatever that may be. Find a hobby that so allows you to lose track of time and space that you can immerse yourself in. And when you're done, you're spent, you're filled with joy. There's no room for worry and stress. Life is good. And if you peel back the layers of the illusion, the reality is right there in front of you. Right there. Right there. I hope this helps you. Day 11 was not a meditation, but I hope that the information from the guides and teachers, from my higher self, which is connected to all the higher selves, because we are all one. I hope this helps. Until tomorrow, this is Starseed Living. My name is Lorraine. Many blessings.